Me, Zaya, what's up? Thank you very much for logging in. Thank y'all for coming on for the first show of Then and Now. Today's gonna be a good show. I got my good friend Alex Thomas. He'll be on, actor, comedian, writer, entrepreneur. We're gonna go over everything with him. We're gonna talk about, how he started in the industry, things he's doing now, how he stayed, so relevant for so long, in the business. So right now we're about to get him on right now. Here goes Alex. Let's get Alex in here. Here we go. We're gonna get Alex in here. Why isn't it coming on? Oh, here it is. All right, Alex will be here in a moment.
Let me clean this.
Here we go.
What's going
My
on,
man,
bro?
what's up, big bro? What's going on, man?
Man, I'm chilling, just being a daddy. You know how it is. It don't stop.
Brother, how are the kids doing, first and foremost, man?
Okay, well, first of all, while we're on this line, you may hear some screaming and running around here because I feel like I have 39 kids. But it's only 3, but it feels like 39. It's a 2-year-old, 5-year-old, and a 3-month-old. So you know how it is, man.
Oh yeah, you got them all sizes, man. You got them. You stay busy, man. How do you juggle the family life with being a comedian and your business and everything? How do you juggle all of that?
Man, a whole lot of practice. Just being a father, man, in general. One thing my wife has taught me, man, I got to give it up to her. She really taught me how to balance, man. You know what I mean? Because when you're single for so long and you wild and you out in them streets, you don't know nothing about balance, and it's just not all
Right.
about. It's not all about you anymore. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
she has taught me, like, when I tell you, whatever I got to do, when I come home, like, she throws babies at me, like they're baseballs. I walk to the door and I'm just catching niggas, like, you got me. You know, hi baby, how you doing? Nigga needs a bath. You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
Change the diaper, nigga. You know what I mean?
So here's the big question: who's the disciplinarian? Is it you or her?
I'm not even gonna lie. My wife is more, and she's better of a disciplinarian than I am. Cause nigga, I was abused as a child, nigga. I don't wanna return that and be stealing on niggas' jaws and beating them up and shit. Like, I won't know how to stop. So I let my wife, she's more the disciplinarian, and I just kind of talk stern to him, but I let her beat them up, not me. No,
Okay.
no, she don't beat them up. She's definitely a little bit more stern. But man, we just dove in. Can I just say congratulations to you, Shorty?
Thank you, man. Thank you so much, man. Yo, I really appreciate it. Like, you would honestly, I couldn't think of anybody better to be on the show for my first guest, and you were the first call I made,
That's
and you
crazy.
said yes. And you're always busy, so I'm really appreciative of what you're doing right now for me,
Let
for
me tell you
real.
something, nigga. I have literally known you about 25 years now, and nigga, you look 17 and a half. Like, I don't, nigga,
Yo,
when you
we
were
both
12,
had hairlines. You
I
know what I'm
saw some
saying?
old pictures of you. You were 12, and you look like a newborn, nigga. You look like a 12-year-old nigga that wears diapers. Like, I couldn't believe how young you were. Like, you must have been smoking some good weed over these years. Because
All the time,
when I met
man.
you, you had a blunt in your mouth, nigga. So,
Now, I'm glad you brought it up when we met because I wanted to bring this up. I remember we met through Marlon Wayans.
exactly.
And we were on the set of the
The
Wayans
Wayans
Brothers
Brothers
show.
show.
Yes. And they said, look, Alex and Chris is coming down here. I was like, who's that? They was like, no, you got to meet them. Like, they real cool. So I just came out from New York to LA. So I had a preconceived notion of what LA dudes was.
Right,
So I'm
right, right.
thinking y'all going to come up in a 6'4", you know what I'm saying? Bumping music with rollers and Jerry curls in y'all
We
here.
were nothing like that.
Dude, y'all were like, I said, who are these dudes related to? James Earl Jones? Because y'all English was so good. Like, what the fuck?
That's on Mr. Grinch. But you were so like, nigga. Let me tell you something about you. You like if you Googled the word New York nigga, your picture would have popped up, nigga. When I saw you, you look like you just left a Wu-Tang video shoot, or you look like you just got off the road with Big Daddy Kane or something, nigga. You were so New York. Like I think I saw you. I remember you, Marlon, at a pool party once, nigga, and you were at a pool party with shorts on and Timbs, nigga. Like you were really
Yes, yes.
New York.
Yes.
That nigga was so New York. Like damn, you know, because at that time I was going back and forth to New York a lot, doing Def Comedy Jam and
Right.
being out there and loving New York. You know, my pops is from New York. My
Oh,
father.
for real?
You didn't know that?
No, I knew he was a musician. Your father's a musician, right?
Yeah. He was an Earth, Wind and Fire for years. But
Got
he
you.
grew up in New York in Manhattan, and then after when his mom left New York, they came to LA. So that's how my parents met. My mom's from New Orleans, my dad's from New York. But man, all the years of doing stand-up, New York niggas thought I was from New York. And I used to finally,
I thought you was.
dude, after years of ripping stages in New York, I finally started asking niggas, like, why do niggas think that I'm from New York? Why are they asking that? And I heard a lot of the same dudes say the same thing. They were like, you don't come off as an LA nigga. That was number one. Number
Yep.
two, I don't dress the stereotypical LA nigga. Because you got to think about it. Early 90s, when you say LA nigga, you say South Central LA, you think
Right.
NWA, Ice Cube,
Exactly.
Boys in the Hood, Jerry
That's
Curl,
what I'm saying.
Cactus.
Yeah.
Nigga, I was none of that shit. Even
Never.
though I was born and raised in it, half my
Mhm.
family's Crips, half my family's Bloods, I just never got
Hold on,
into
wait,
that shit.
wait. Half your family's Crips and half your family's Bloods.
Nigga, my grandmother would have to be like, nigga, y'all niggas is gonna leave the rags outside and come eat this turkey on Thanksgiving, nigga. You know what I mean? Like, no gang banging while we sitting here eating this turkey and this dressing. You know what I mean?
I don't know why I agreed to do this.
But see, Chris was similar. He grew up in Inglewood, and
Right.
me too. Both of us grew up hood niggas, but just was never got caught into the gang shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's
y'all
what made
were
me.
totally anti-gang,
Say
definitely.
it again.
I said y'all were totally anti-gang, like y'all had nothing to do with that at all.
Nothing to do. But you know what they love? What they loved about us is kind of like Richard Pryor talked about back in the day when he said when he went to jail, he had them niggas laughing to keep their minds off the booty, right?
Right.
In my case, I had niggas laughing because that was my only way. Because nigga, I wasn't joining no gang.
Right.
Nigga, I wasn't tough. I wasn't ready to go on a drive-by. Nigga, I didn't want to go to jail at 13. Nigga, you know what I mean?
Right.
So niggas remember me for making niggas laugh, and that
All
was
the
like
time.
my pass.
All the time. And you know, one thing I've noticed about you through the years, you know, when you get to work with people and, you know, you like them at first and then something goes wrong in business and things don't go right. I have never heard anyone say a bad word about you. Anyone. From producers. I mean, like you're always on time, like a white person. Like you're
See, that was the white side of me. Because remember, Shorty, you got to understand, I grew up in South Central LA, but I was bused to Beverly Hills
I
for the
see.
first
Yeah.
9
Yeah,
years
please
of my
talk
life.
about that.
I
Please
was
talk
the
about that. So you grew
only
up in England. Yeah,
I
you
was
grew
the
up in
only
Inglewood.
black kid in an all-white private school for 8 or
Wow.
9 years. So that was that side of me, being punctual, being on time, enunciation, like you said, like my English,
Yeah.
my grammar, nigga, you know.
Yeah. And
But
people
then,
don't rank on you for that. You're not talking white. You speak, you know, like you were always in the cool crowd, but you always maintain this is who I am. And I thought that was real dope about you.
and that's why gangster niggas, rest in peace, Easy E, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube. One reason why all the niggas love me and I always worked with them dudes because I'm from where they're from,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't trying to be something that I wasn't.
Right.
They just
Right.
knew, like, yeah, nigga, you know, you Crenshaw, Slauson, 153rd, Broadway. My parents went to Fauché, Manual. I know how to sea walk, nigga. I know how to do all that shit. You know what I mean? But the difference with me is I can sea walk and I can swim.
Right.
Yeah. I know how to throw up gang signs, but I also play golf, nigga. You know what I mean? Nigga,
And you know what? We were supposed to play golf for a long time. I don't play golf at all. So I'll come and smoke a blunt and watch you play golf.
well, I'm the ghetto Tiger Woods. They call me Inglewoods, right?
Yeah, I heard about that. And you also have the Alex Thomas Foundation. Let's talk about that.
Yes, I have a foundation that benefits children with cancer, pediatric cancer. A lot of people don't know that cancer is one of the #1 killers of kids in America, 15 years and younger. And about 5-6 years ago, cancer hit my family really, really hard. So I was like, you know what, man? What could I do to help? How can I help this? I mean, I don't have the answers, and nobody does, but I knew that I had the power to bring together all these athletes, all these entertainers, something that we all had in common, which was golf. And golf tournaments raise a lot of money to help. So we partnered up with the Ronald McDonald House. Have you ever heard of the Ronald McDonald House?
Listen, I get burgers from there all the time, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Ronald McDonald House, man. A lot of people don't know about that, but across the street from all children's hospitals or any hospitals in America where there's people and families going through cancer, there's a Ronald McDonald House. And that's the house where, if your kid is struggling with cancer, if they're in, stage 3, stage 4, and you don't want to go home, there's beds for the families, there's food for the families, there's clothing for the families. So we help out the families, and just to make these kids smile, to put a smile on their faces, man. So that's what my foundation benefits.
That's dope. Now that's dope. Now I definitely want to talk about how you got to where you are, because a lot of people, you always say, the funny don't stop. Every time I call, I'm out here grinding, man. What's up? That's your thing. I'm grinding, and you really be grinding. So let's go back to your high school.
Hold on. You know what my saying is for that?
What?
I have a saying for that, nigga. I hustle as if I'm broke.
Yes.
Because see, niggas get money and they get comfortable.
Yes.
And yes.
And I know you've seen that during the pandemic, right? I know a lot of people calling you like, Alex, let me hold something.
let me tell you something, nigga. When I tell you, how do I say this? I've been more busy during this pandemic, damn near, to when there wasn't a pandemic. It's just a different type of busy. You know what I mean? You got to think, just somebody like myself, 35, 40 cities a year consistently for the last 10, 15 years of my life doing stand-up, right? So me being on an airplane every 4 to 5 days was just my lifestyle. Right. This is, January is my 30-year anniversary of doing stand-up comedy.
Wow.
And movies in January, right? Dude, this is the longest in 30 years that I haven't been on a plane. I haven't been on a plane in 8 months, bro.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Because my wife was pregnant the entire time. We got a healthy, beautiful pandemic baby boy, right?
That's dope. That's dope.
I have a 2-year-old and 5-year-old.
Baby boy.
Yes, he is definitely a pandemic baby. That nigga's gonna have stories when he gets older. He's gonna see pictures when he was 2 months old, and like every nigga in the picture got a mask on. Every nigga's like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so, he gonna know everybody by their eyes, right? Like.
Exactly. So a 2 and a 5-year-old, my wife was like, you ain't going nowhere. I couldn't take the chance. I got a lot of offers to go places when the comedy club started opening back up, but I couldn't take that chance, bro. I had to sit it out and just be at home with the family, man. But as far as material goes, nigga, I got about an hour of brand new shit. I can't wait to get on stage.
I could imagine, because you just come off with jokes like out of the blue. And I think one thing that people don't really know about you is a lot of people can write jokes. Well, not everybody can write jokes. People can write jokes, all right? Exactly. But not a lot of people are on point funny on the spot. I've watched you sit in rooms with the top comedians, and you just rank everybody out in the room. Like you just went across the room like, so please.
It's a part of the game, man. I tell people, it's like one reason why I love Jay-Z so much, right? I'm going to just give you an example of, as you know, I'm a hip-hop head.
Right.
You know that. Like, I'm
exactly.
Niggas used to get in arguments with me being a kid from South Central LA and
Right.
loving East Coast New York rap. But you can't deny that niggas my age and my generation, hey
Right.
man, the truth is the truth and facts are facts. Hip
Right.
hop started in New York. So you got to understand,
Yeah.
from just 80 to 90, nigga, before there was the NWA, before there was Ice Cube, before, Ice-T and them really did it, like, nigga, that's all we had was, Grandmaster Caz and the Furious Five and Big
Yeah.
Daddy Kane and LL Cool J and Run DMC. And I was just a lover of hip hop. But a lot of times I got backlash from that over the years. Being an LA nigga, you ain't supposed to like that shit. Like, nigga, that shit's hot. Nigga, you ain't heard EPMD, nigga? You heard these niggas called Eric B and Rakim? Are you serious right now?
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
definitely.
With that being said, it's kind of like I am in comedy, is what I'm trying to say. I'm a student of the game. And
Right.
back to Jay-Z, that's what it was. One reason I love that dude so much, the nigga knows how to write hit songs. Right? Hit songs will live with us for the rest of our lives.
Right.
Right, nigga. Nigga, when we're 99, we can go, I've got 99 problems.
Bitch, you ain't one. You dig?
Nigga, we'll be saying that when we're 99 years old. You get
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So with that being said, my point is, but you could also be on a street corner and throw on a beat and
Right.
niggas say freestyle.
Right.
And that nigga will rip that bitch to pieces.
Right.
I look at myself as that same dude in stand-up. I'm that nigga that can write you a hit song that everybody knows the hook and everybody knows the words. But nigga, when it comes to just freestyling in the audience like you just said, you see me do warm-up over the years.
Yes.
4 hours.
Yes.
That's
yes.
4 hours of freestyle, nigga.
Yes. In fact, one time we were shooting a Wayne's Brothers show and you were hosting it. And, just for people that don't know, when they shoot TV shows, in between each scene, they'll have the comedian come on and warm up the crowd that is there to keep
It's
the
called
people
the warm-up
laughing.
comedian.
The warm-up comedian. And they were shooting long. I never forget, this director was trying to get them to shoot the right dice. Like she wanted the dice to fall a certain way. Hilarious. So they were pissed because they were going over budget over a dice roll. All right. But you stayed on fire until like midnight. We were there till midnight that night. You were on. You didn't stop. You did everything. You were interacting with the crowd. You were doing stand up. You were ranking on the cast members that was there. You stayed busy. I'm like, this dude just don't stop, yo.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. Shout out to the Wayans brothers because they gave me, Marlon and Sean, gave me my start as a warm-up comic on the Wayans brothers show the year they started in '94.
Oh, really?
Oh, you didn't know that?
That was your first. Listen, because you did a lot of stuff. Because look, I want to touch on a lot of this stuff.
Wait. Before you go there, I just got to tell you something you didn't know. Not only was that my first time, Marlon and Sean talked me into it, right?
Are you serious?
Like, when they explained to me the kind of money I could make, and all I got to do is have fun with them at all their live tapings, but for 4 hours, I was a little nervous. I was like, I got to be clean. It's TV, blah, 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 blah. You probably didn't know this, Shorty, but after the Wayans Brothers show was over, damn near every single black show that came on in the 90s, I was the warm-up comic for. I'm talking from Living Single to Moesha to the Parkers to Jamie Foxx show, like literally everything. One-on-one, My Wife and Kids, like literally every black TV show. I was doing 4 TV shows every single week for about 10 years. Nigga, that was like 30 grand a week for a young nigga in the 90s.
Yeah, and back then, 30 grand was like, listen, nigga, 30 grand now is like, damn.
Hey man, they were paying me more to sit there and freestyle and make people laugh for 4 hours more than I would get for a whole weekend at an Improv in New York or at a Funny Bone in Tallahassee, Florida, or at the Improv in Miami. Like, so a lot of comics used to be like, why is Alex Thomas not on the road as much? during those
Right.
Def Comedy Jam years, right?
Right.
Comic View years. I still did Def Comedy Jam. I still did Comic View. But my thing was this. If I could stay home in LA, do warm up on TV shows, and make
Right.
10 times what you niggas are making and still be able to go out on auditions and do TV shows and movies,
Right.
that's what I did. That was my route.
That was genius. Cause I wanted, yo, you got a big career. So you got your bag, you got your bag company going on. We're gonna talk about that definitely. You're a comedian, you're a writer. Let's talk about how did you first get into comedy? Like what, how old were you when you first touched the stage?
I was 3.5 years old when I first touched the stage. And nigga, you didn't laugh.
That was fucking crazy. I'm sitting here like this ass nigga. Three.
I tried to keep a straight face.
I'm sitting here like this guy, right?
Nah, I mean 21, whatever. I was young in Hollywood like
Okay.
everybody else. I didn't know that's what I wanted to end up doing. That wasn't the whole goal. It's not like in high school I was saying, hey, I want to be the next Richard Pryor, the next Eddie Murphy. But silently, those were my heroes. Even though I grew up in the music business, music was kind of pushed on me. Got to think my pops was Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm growing up with 2 pianos in the house. Every horn you can think of. I got Maurice and Verdine White smoking weed in my living room and practicing the biggest band of all time. And they tried to force it on me. And it's just like, it's kind of like when Magic Johnson tried to make his sons play basketball. Michael Jordan tried to make his sons play basketball. It didn't work out.
It didn't pan out, right. It didn't pan out. So got you.
It just kind of organically happened, man. One thing led to another. Back in my early hip hop days, it was all about dancing. I was on, Soul Train, pop lock, and break dancing.
Yes. So that's the first time I saw you. You were on Soul Train. You were a dancer on Soul Train, and you did the scramble board, correct? Yes.
I was a young hood celebrity. Just take 85 to 90.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, I'm on TV every Saturday. On the biggest show, it didn't get any bigger for black folks.
No.
Soul Train.
This is before sitcoms, all of that. It was Soul Train, and that was it for black people.
Hey, nigga, I'm 15 years old. I can't wait to Saturday. Maybe I could possibly meet Run DMC, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and the Gap Band, nigga. But I'm 15 years old, and they're like, that little nigga can dance us up. Like, remember, at the end of the day, after they perform, they watch the Soul Train line too.
Right. Definitely.
So in the hood, I'm starting to get famous. We can literally be on this line for 2 hours. I'm trying to jump around to give you the highlights.
I get it.
So that's why, and when you do the math, you'll figure it out. So that's why come 91, 92, 93, I'm an amateur comedian, no TV or movie credits. Right. I only got 3 minutes of material, but amateur nights, niggas used to be like, how is this nigga getting ovations? How is this nigga clapping for him as if they know him and he ain't did shit? Nigga, I was semi-famous from being that dancer nigga on Soul Train.
Right.
So Soul Train got amateurs,
No, Soul Train got a lot of people started. So you became friends with Rosie Perez right down there. That's how you got.
We were best friends.
Wow.
And I was her little homie, and long story short, I moved on with her to Living Color, became her assistant with the Fly Girls, and that.
So you were her assistant. Wow.
I was her assistant. I was a little street nigga that knew all the new dances, right?
Got you.
She was famous from the dances, but it's almost like the streets, the dancers that were coming from the hood. But remember, nobody knows me. She's famous.
Right.
She's sexy. Everybody loves her. But I was the little nigga to show her all the new shit.
Got
she
you.
Just brought me along. So long story short, I'm in there working with the Fly Girls. But at the same time, during dance practice, they're all dying laughing.
Right.
Assuming, oh, you're on a show called A Living Color and all these comedians assuming I'm a comedian, right?
Right.
Nigga, I've never told a joke in my life on a stage. But Rosie was always like going, nigga, you are funny. Oh my God, you should do comedy. I just met a dude in New York. I just did this movie, Alex. It's called Do the Right Thing. I just met this dude, and he's so funny. I want to introduce you to him when he comes out here. Who was that nigga?
Who?
Martin Lawrence.
Wow.
No clue who Martin was. She just met him a week ago. She's telling Martin about her little homie that's funny, and we trying to get him in comedy back home. Nigga, long story short, I end up meeting him on Def Comedy Jam, telling him the whole story. You know what I mean? Just funny how things come around. But in there with the dancers, with the fly girls, who walks in? Damon and Keenan. Who is this little nigga in here having everybody dying laughing? You supposed to be in here dancing.
Right.
Rosie explains. I have them laughing. And I'll never forget this true story. Damon Wayans goes, so nigga, do you do stand up? And I was like, no. I was like, do comedians get paid? That's what I asked him.
Right.
Do comedians get staged? I will never forget. This nigga had on an early 90s Jordan sweatsuit. Because back in those days, like a lot of comedians during the daytime, you're not performing. It's just like sweatsuits.
Right.
At night, you get into your performance gear, right?
Right.
All I remember, this nigga had a pair of Jordans on that I'd never seen before. This is 92, 93, beginning of In Living Color. And he had a dope-ass Michael Jordan sweatsuit. And I said, do comedians get paid? Nigga went in one pocket, 30,000 cash. Went in the other pocket, $30,000. He goes, that's 60, nigga. And he like flapped it in my face. He goes, yes, we do get paid, nigga. I was done dancing, nigga. Nigga, I was like, hold on, let me do my last step. Nigga fell out laughing. 2 weeks later, he told me where to go. Comedy Act Theater, told me to go to the Comedy Store, amateur nights. Next thing you know, I was on stage. Dancing was done. I'm starting to do stand-up. And another shout out to the Wayans, because Damon, 5-6 years later, was the first major comic. Remember, he's a star at that time.
Right.
Homie the Clown, nigga, didn't get no bigger than that.
Right.
This nigga was selling out arenas and small theaters all over the country. He was the first comedian, first star comedian. Before I met Will Smith, before I got close with Jamie, before I was really close with Martin, he was the first to take a young nigga out on the road.
That's dope.
So
that's dope.
You got to think about it. I'm going from open mics, 30, 40 people in the room, to now maybe a packed comedy room to this nigga's a star, and I'm going up in front of 1,500 seaters in every city in America to do my little 10, 15 minutes. So that was huge for me. So I always thank Damon Wayans for that.
Man, listen, the Wayans brothers put a lot of us on. A lot of people in position.
Nigga, yes.
You know, like I wouldn't have been known as the barber that I'm known as, you know, without Marlon and Sean.
I remember that. You know what it was? Again, I know this is not the Wayans show, but it had such a big part of the beginning of my career, and that's what we're talking about. Shout out to Keenan, because Keenan, not only did he teach them that, he instilled that in his brothers, to not sit around and wait, write your own ticket. And because of what Keenan did, his brothers followed. But I got real lucky, because not only did his younger brothers love me, he loved me and Damon loved me. So that's how I got it. Don't Be a Menace. Basically, anything those Wayans brothers did, I was involved at some type of capacity. And I always thank them and shout them out for that.
That's dope. So,
look at here.
What show did you write on?
Somebody just asked. Got to ask him about the Ja Rule.
Ja Rule, yeah. I was going to get to that. My man Quaylen.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah, that's my man Quaylen. Go ahead.
Hey, Quaylen. Ja Rule had a hit out on me for a few years, nigga. That nigga did not like me after he found out that was me on that album. Still to this day, nigga, that's still the #1 selling hip-hop album in hip-hop history by a solo artist. Get Rich or Die Trying?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
14 million albums sold. Shout out to 50 Cent. And
did you get some bread off that?
What? You want to? Hey, all I got to say, without getting into too much detail,
Yeah.
That was a month after we got off the Up and Smoke tour that I hosted. Dr. Dre, Eminem, Ice Cube, and he's like, nigga, I got this skit I want you to do on this new album. And I'm like, okay, because I was always doing skits and sketches with Dr. Dre.
Right.
I was like, cool, who is it? He's like, oh, this nigga named 50 Cent. You don't know him. I was like, okay. I no clue who the fuck 50 Cent was.
Right.
He wasn't even out yet. You know what I mean? But he was having beef with the nigga Ja Rule. I was like, oh, I know about that. I heard about it, blah, 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 blah. He's like, nigga, listen to this shit. He just had like maybe a 20-second clip of some gay nigga that called in the Hot 97, anonymous, didn't say a name, and all I heard was, y'all need to leave Jeffrey alone. That's my boo. Leave him alone. Dre looked at me. He's like, can you fuck with it? Can you fuck with it? And I looked at him. I was like, hell yeah. Nigga, the rest was history. I went in there and did the skit. I'll never forget. Eminem was in the studio. 50 wasn't there. Ice Cube was in it. They were laughing so hard that it was fucking me up in my character. I had to turn the mic towards the back of the studio so I couldn't see them through the glass because I didn't want them to just keep laughing. I had just met Eminem on the tour. Right. He loved me. And Ice Cube knew I was funny as fuck. And so that's me on number 10, Back Down. Basically the song that ended Ja Rule's career. Big things come in small packages. Holla. I'm a 12-degree pink belt. I will slice and dice his ass. What? Nigga.
Yeah.
That gangster ass album where on the cover, nigga, there's bullet holes in the cover, nigga.
Right, exactly.
There was one comedy sketch on that whole album, nigga. And
that's crazy.
But niggas didn't know the years later, Shorty, because Dre left my name off of the album because we wanted it to really be like they really got this gay nigga to do it.
Right, dog. I didn't know until just now. Literally, like I literally didn't know until just now.
Hey man, I look at it like this. It's just being honest and bottom of my heart. Years later, that would have been nice if I had got royalties on the album.
Right.
But Dre paid me $10,000, nigga.
Oh shit! Listen,
and bought me a $5,000 pool table.
Shit, that's 15 grand.
Listen, my house that I just bought a month ago. I just bought my first house getting off that tour, thanks to Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre put me on the goddamn 50 Cent album, thanks to Dr. Dre. Bought my pool. So I always tell people, nigga, if Death Row had a comedy division, nigga, if Ruthless, did you see Straight Outta Compton?
Of course.
Nigga, if Ruthless had a comedy division, I would have been that nigga because I was just around them all those years. Put it this way. Remember the pool party scene? Straight Outta Compton?
Yes.
Nigga, I got the real videotapes from them parties.
I'm coming by because I want to see them motherfuckers.
When the movie came out, I was like, I hope they didn't use any real shit. My wife would be like, nigga, I was at every single one of them, nigga. I was the comedy division.
He was like, hey!
Hey, if there was a comedy division during them days, like I said, I always give the people shout outs that really looked out for my career. And rest in peace, Easy, Ice Cube, Dre, they always looked out for me, man.
No, definitely. So I want to touch on how you expanded your portfolio from just doing comedy. So you became a writer after doing comedy on different shows.
Fresh
then
Prince
you
of Bel
had
Air. I was a writer on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, 93 to 97.
Oh, damn. You
didn't know that, nigga?
Look, I see you everywhere where I was going to cut hair, so I didn't know what the hell you was doing. You were a man of many jobs, dog.
Hey, you would think I was Jamaican, nigga. I've always been a man. Always been a hustler.
Yo. And then you had a show called Mr. Box Office, right?
My wife is making dinner and the shit smells good as fuck, nigga. She's making blackened salmon with broccolini and mashed potatoes.
So it's not broccoli, it's broccolini.
It's broccolini. And if I were to show you the difference, you know what, for all the bougie Whole Foods niggas out there, you know the difference between broccolini and broccoli. Broccolini, thinner, longer, almost looks like if it had a little hat on an asparagus.
Okay.
Right? Broccoli's thick and short.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Yeah, and it actually smells a little different, but it's good as fuck. My wife can cook her ass off.
So I ain't gonna hold you too long. I know you got to get to dinner.
And I'm
So
sorry I went past my time, man. I know you said only 20 minutes. I know we've been on.
no, bro, I didn't want to hold you up. I'm thankful for your time.
All right.
So you got your bag company going. Let's talk about that.
The Lewis Stewart collection. We're going in our 11th year in business. Black owned.
11 years?
11 years, man.
Wow.
Baby's dinner almost ready? Okay. Maybe finish this. Yep. Dinner's ready. Monday Night Football's coming on. Yes, it's called the Lewis Stewart collection. We're going on 11 years in business, 100% black owned. You can go to the website, theLewisStewartCollection.com. On Instagram at Mr. Lewis Stewart. It's MR as in Mr. LOUISSTEWART. And man, I'm no different than a Jay-Z or a Diddy, man. When you think about it, they looked outside the box.
Right.
And they made millions of dollars just off of Sean John and Rockaware.
Right.
Both of them, they made damn near $600 million off both of those. Huge success. Hey, man, I have an accessory line. It's absolutely amazing. Some of the biggest stars on the planet have supported us over 11 years. It's unfortunate black folks are, there's this brainwashed by Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada, Goyard,
who don't want their
Chanel.
money. Yeah, who don't want their money. They fight. I would never protest to go in and spend my money.
They don't
if you don't want my money, bye.
They don't care about black folks. They've been around over 100 years. We're the ones that really put them on the map and talk about them in every song and this and that. And it's unfortunate sometimes black folks tend to think, oh, yeah, we could do T-shirts. Oh, we could do jeans all day. But never accessories. What? Hold up. You're black and you're going to fix your lips and tell me that bag costs $5,000? Exactly. Do you say that when you go into Louis Vuitton and spend $2,000 on a belt? Exactly. Do you say that when you go into Gucci and spend $10,000? We have stuff that range all the way from $200 all the way up to $5,000. There's $500 backpacks. There's $300 backpacks, but it's very fine quality. If you look it up, Google it, the Lewis Stewart collection, you learn something new today. Support black business, and you see me with the hashtag BBM, Black Business Matters.
So let's can't do this. So, look, I want to this guy right here.
You're laughing at shit you ain't supposed to be laughing at.
Exactly, because I'm knowing. But look, I'm gonna close this out. So I remember one time you invited me in New York. I remember one time you were in New York and you had a stand-up show, a special that you were and mind you, you kind of did this on your own. Like, I don't really see you with that big machine behind you. Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you, Shorty.
Oh, your phone went. Yeah, I can't hear you. We can't hear you. Can't hear you. Talk. Let me see if I can hear you. Oh, there you go. Now you're back. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, it went out again. There you go. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Now I got you.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm that dude. I never had that machine behind me. I wish I did, because things would have been. But I can't complain. God's blessed me in so many different ways. Shout out to Kevin Hart for what he did in this game. He was able to really get a machine behind him. And when you can get a machine behind you, bro, there's nothing that you can't do. You know what I mean? But, hey, man, They haven't seen the end of me. I stay grinding, stay hustling. I'll just, focus a lot on being a great dad, a great father. Got the #1 new animated series on right now on Netflix. We're the only black animated series on Netflix right now. It's called Motown Magic. So if you got kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, anybody between 1 and 10 years old, Smokey Robinson's executive producer, and I'm the star of the show. My name is Jimmy Mack.
Smokey Robinson?
Huh?
Smokey Robinson?
He is the executive producer.
Are you
And
gonna put his song on?
man, it's
The
full of
gangbanging
smoking.
song. The
Hey,
gangbanging.
hey, shorty, you got nieces or nephews?
Yeah, I got kids, nieces, nephews. Listen, it's a
Hey,
whole bunch of them
everybody
around here.
needs to check out Motown Magic. It's educational for kids because you got to think about it. My kids are 2 and 5. How would they know who the Jackson 5 was? How would they know who Stevie Wonder was? How would they know
Right.
who, all these Motown greats? They know them all now from watching every single day on Netflix. So everybody watch Netflix. Motown Magic. My character's name is Jimmy Mack. I'm a red 1965 Cadillac. And also my my podcast is crazy. We're
Yes.
coming up on 100 episodes right now. It's called The Funny Don't Stop Show.
Check that out. The funny don't stop. This dude, yo, Alex, man, I want to thank you very much. I'm not gonna hold you because I know your wife is sitting there like.
She is, and it smells super good. So I'm about to bless my food and eat. I appreciate you, Shorty, and
Nah, thank
congratulations
you,
with
man.
everything you're doing, man.
Thanks, man. Yo, thanks a lot. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for being my first guest. Yo, we gonna do this again. You know what I'm saying?
Tell Big Daddy Kane, tell Kane and Shane I said what up. Brooklyn,
Indeed,
son.
indeed.
Brooklyn.
Exact. All day, son. All right, Alex.
All right, man.
Peace, man.
Later.
Later.